I remember when I was in high school and I had this test that was 80% of my grade. Basically, I needed to pass this test. Like, it was a huge part of my grade. And I did everything right. I studied, I reviewed my notes. I even asked my friends if we could study together. But for some reason, I still had high levels of anxiety going into this test. Like, I was shaking before it, I was overthinking. I was thinking that, wow, what if I fail? What if I fail? And I was just having this like physical symptoms of anxiety. My heart was racing, body was just all jittery. And you may have experienced this as well. That's like the most common side effects or symptoms of anxieties when your like heart is pumping and you're just overthinking. So I went into the test room that day, and while I still was overthinking, my heart was beating, all this stuff, just racing thoughts. I was expected to take a test that was really big part of my grade for school. And how do you think I performed going into this? Obviously I did study, I did do everything, but I didn't have the self confidence. I was overthinking, as I said, filled with so much anxiety. And in return, I didn't do well on the test. I didn't do well. I didn't fail, but I think I got like a D or a C, which wasn't like, obviously I passed, but I felt like I deserved a lot better. Like when I looked at that test, I was like, wow, I should have gotten way more. And that's basically what anxiety was for me for years, especially in high school. These big things that meant so much to me, like sports, school, maybe even just trying to talk to a girl, it ruined it for me because I was always overthinking. Overthinking is a symptom of anxiety. And I would always just overthink. I'd always just, the physical symptoms worth a match. It caused me to lower my self confidence. I wasn't that hungry man I was supposed to be, trying to go for that ball, calling for that ball. And it just ruined things for me. And maybe you can relate. Maybe anxiety has ruined a lot of things for you as well. And you were tired of it. You're tired of letting anxiety just ruin things in your life that you really want. Because I know that if you didn't have anxiety and if I didn't have anxiety, we would be so much more of a person than we are today. But as I said, anxiety isn't gonna go away. You can't just get rid of anxiety. It's always gonna happen. Like you're always gonna have some level of anxiety unless you have like pills, you have antidepressants, you have all these stuff that just won't work anyway. Like why would you want to depend on a drug for you to stop being anxious? Like I think that's stupid, honestly. But anyways, I'm gonna tell you how I got rid of my anxiety. Basically, the way I got rid of my anxiety, it didn't like I started thinking, where is this anxiety really coming from? And instantly I thought the anxiety came from mainly my head and my confidence. So let's start with the confidence. So I wasn't really going into these situations or like scenarios confidently. I was going in all shaky, my mind was like telling me all this stuff. And as I said, your mind, it's super important as well. What you're thinking in that moment is important. So what I started doing before like a test or like a tryout is I started telling myself how great I was. I started saying, "Oh, JP, you studied," or "JP, you went to the field. You were kicking the ball about for about like 3 hours yesterday, and your finish was amazing, bro. You got this." Started giving myself positive self-talk and even forcing it. Because as you know, when you have high levels of anxiety, sometimes that negative self-talk is just that natural state. That's just your natural state. You can't do anything about it. But if you start just forcing it, like you just start pushing through that wall, you start telling yourself, "Look, I'm fucking great. I can do this." And then after I'm telling you, bro, you'll most likely going to like a trial or a test a lot better than if you just let your negative self-talk go crazy, take over your whole mind. Because I'm telling you, if you you're not gonna get far if you're just telling yourself, look, oh man, I'm so anxious. Like I don't know what I'm gonna get in the test. Instead of you're like, oh man, I feel fucking alive. I'm gonna pass this test. I'm telling you, if you just do that, you're going to get like 10% better, like of a grade next time you take a test than if you just let your negative self-talk like take over. But yeah, basically improve your self-talk, improve your self-confidence, whether that be improving your self-talk, also like doing things before the test. Like something that also helped me was like let's say for example you're reading or you're just doing something that you like before the test. So you're at the gym, you're pumping iron, like do something that you enjoy before the test because that has really helped me. Next, as I said, is your mindset. It's like your mind, and also not only your mindset, but also just realizing that if you fail, it won't be the end of the world. Let's say, for example, you had a trash tryout, the girl doesn't like you back, or you just failed the test. Yeah, these things are unpleasant, they're negative, and you're probably gonna feel like shit after. But if you realize that, look, this isn't the end of the world, I'm not gonna die, everything will be fine. Earth was gonna be Earth, whether I'm here or not. Whether I fail that test, whether I don't get that girl, Earth is still going to be Earth, and there'll still be other girls out there. I think in this generation we care so much about like these things. They're super important, yeah. Like if it's your dream school, obviously take it seriously. But we tend to dwell on things, and we think about things that we really want, and if we don't get them, we just feel like we're not important. Bro, you are still going to be you at the end of the day. No one's going to change you except for yourself. And I think that to get rid of like anxiety is to realize that all these things that we care so much about, they won't make us like extremely happy anyway. Like yeah, they'll make you happy for about like maybe like at most like a few months. But then after that, another problem's going to arise. You're going to have other issues that you're going to be worrying about. So realize that if you fail, it won't matter. Now, obviously, analyze. Let's say you did bad on the test. Let's say you got an F on the test. So that's bad. Like, study. Ask yourself what I could have done better. Have this growth mindset. Because if you have this nihilistic mindset, you're instantly going to equate your value to a result instead of who you are. What can you do to improve that grade? Can I ask the teacher if I can have extra credit? Can you do this? Can you do that? There's so much you can do. And I'm telling you, if you do these things, you improve your mindset, you have the right mindset, you have a growth mindset, you start having higher confidence, so you start studying more, you start doing these remedies outside of school, you start doing stuff you enjoy, start hanging out with friends, even just talking to them. These things will help so much. Like I'm gonna give you a bonus tip. Something that used to help me was I used to call my mom before like a tryout, or I used to call her before a test, and I would just talk to her, like mom, like I'm not feeling the greatest, and instantly I just have this like burst of like confidence, or I just feel a lot better. It's because if you talk to trusted people, if you talk to people you trust, then it just helps. It helps because it gives you like that kind of backup, like oh everything's going to be okay. Because I still have my mom, I still have my brother, I still have my dad, I still have my friends. So yeah, if you struggle with anxiety, just comment down below on what you're currently struggling with, because I really do feel like this is a huge topic that a lot of people should be talking about a lot more. Anxiety, because it affects so many people. It has affected me for so long, and I just want more people to open up about their anxiety, because that's the first step to getting rid of it. So yeah, anyways, always remember that life is a game. Oh no, always remember that life is a game, you just have to be willing to play. Bye.